Samantha. She just bought a home. She sent me this email for Brad Lawler over at Home Team Inspection Service. The email asks about sump pumps. Now, Brad, we've talked about sump pumps in the past, but Samantha says her home has one and it works. She's heard it going off when it rains. That's good, but she doesn't know how old it is or if it needs to be replaced. And in this email, she's asking, as a homeowner who might be listening to us, when should a sump pump be replaced? How do you know how old it is? Is there a life expectancy? And how do you know when it was initially put into service? Because it's not on a disclosure if you're selling a home, Brett?
Yeah, that's a good question, and it may be a tricky answer. So all of the pumps will have a label on them, and the label is going to show you, likely what the manufacturer date is. Not always, but most of the times.
I hear a butt coming.
Yeah, well, exactly, because they're not all the same. There's not a standard for them. And the other problem is that some homes, the sump pumps run all the time, and they will go out more quickly than the one like I have in my house. I mean, I'm living in a house that's now close to 40 years old. Yeah. I don't know that my sump pump ever turns on ever. Oh. So, so the question there is, the good thing is that she's still hearing the sump pump running. There's no evidence of water. One of the things that I would suggest, everybody has a water sensor near their sump pump, so that if you did have any sort of overflow, that it would trigger the sensor. I have a system in my house called a water bug. Roost makes one. There's a lot of different products. If you have an alarm company, talk to your security folks. They can put a water sensor down there. It'll just give you a little bit of some security. If you're concerned about it, if you ever see any water coming out of the crock, I would just contact a plumber, go ahead and swap the sump pump out. They're not that expensive. It's cheap medicine to replace it preventively. But again, I don't know that I can tell you exactly how long they're going to last, just because every house is set up a little bit differently, and some pumps run, some don't.
Yeah, and the concern I have is the label of when it was manufactured is going to be on the sump pump. That's usually in the crock, and that's right. Some of those crocks are sealed because of radon mitigation, and then you're not going to be able to see it. So
can't see them. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a real concern. Maybe that needs to. Well, I don't know how you put that on a disclosure. Chuck Crosby over at the Crosby Law Office.
Who would know?
Yeah. That's one of the up in the air questions.